Hello Trekkers and Trekkers. Well, it's another day of Star Trek Timber, so let's start our reviews off with The Inner Light. On Stardate 45944.1, the Enterprise has just finished a magnetic wave survey of the Parvenium system, where they find an unknown probe that scans the ship and directs an energy beam at Captain Picard, rendering him unconscious. Picard wakes up to find himself on the surface of Catan, a non-Federation planet. A woman identifies herself as Eileen, telling Picard that he is Kamen, an Iron Weaver recovering from a feverish sickness. Picard talks of his memories on the Enterprise, but Eileen and their close friend Bataille try to convince Picard that his memories were only dreams, and acclimate him into their society as Kamen. Picard begins living out his life as Kamen in the village of Resik, starting a family with Eileen, and learning to play the flute. Kamen spends much time outdoors with his Dobosnian telescope studying nature. As years pass, he begins to notice that the planet is suffering from a worldwide drought owing to increased radiation from the planet's sun. He sends reports to the planet's leaders, who seem to ignore his concerns. That kind of sounds a little bit familiar, like certain Kryptonians trying to warn the planet that they're in danger, yet no one listens to him. Meanwhile, on board the Enterprise, the crew continues attempts to revive Picard. They try to block the influence of the probe, but as a result Picard nearly dies, so they are forced to let it continue. They trace their rocket's trajectory to a system whose sun had gone nova 1,000 years before, exterminating all life in this system. Years pass and Kamen grows old, outliving his wife. Kamen and his daughter Maribor continue their study of the drought. They find that it is not temporary. Extinction of all life on the planet is inevitable. Ultimately, Kamen confronts a government official who proudly admits to him that the government already knows this, but wishes to keep it a secret to avoid a panic. The official gravely points out to Kamen that they only just recently managed to successfully launch artificial satellites using primitive rockets. The race simply does not possess the technology level needed to evacuate even a small colony's worth of people before their planet is rendered uninhabitable. One day, while playing with his grandson, Kamen is summoned by his adult children to watch the launch of a rocket, which everyone seems to know about except him. As he walks outside into the glaring sunlight, Kamen sees Eileen and Bataille, as young as when he first saw them. They explain that he has already seen the rocket just before he came there. Knowing that the planet was doomed, the planet's leaders placed the memories of their culture into a probe and launched it into space, in the hope they would find someone who could tell others about their species. Picard then realizes the entire context. "Oh, it's me, isn't it?" he says. "I'm the someone. I'm the one it finds." Picard wakes up on the bridge of the Enterprise to discover that what he perceives many decades have transpired, only 25 minutes have passed. Whoa, timey-wimey. The now inactive probe is brought aboard the Enterprise, and the crew finds a small box within it. A somber Riker gives the box to Picard, who opens it to find Kamen's flute. Picard, now adept at the instrument, plays the melody he learned during his life as Kamen. Aww. So let's get some let's look at some background info about this info, beginning with its title. Morgan Gendel named the episode after The Inner Light, a song written by George Harrison and released by the Beatles as the B-side of their 1968 single, Lady Madonna. The lyrics of Harrison's song were based on the 47th chapter of the Tao Te Ching, which reads, "Without going outside his door, one understands all that takes place under the sky. Without looking out from his window, one sees the Tao of heaven. The farther he goes out from himself, the less he knows. Therefore, the sages got their knowledge without traveling, gave their right names to things without seeing them, and accomplished their ends without any purpose of doing so." According to Gendel, the song, quote, captured the theme of the show, that Picard experienced a lifetime of memories all in his head. Now let's look about some info about the Rasikian flute. The brass Rasikian flute resembles, and has a similar sound too, a penny whistle or a tin whistle. It is considered a lasting reminder of Picard's virtual life on the planet throughout the rest of the series. Picard's flute would occasionally be seen in its box sitting on his desk. It plays a role in the episode Lessons, where Picard develops a romantic relationship with a stellar cartographer assigned to the Enterprise, Nella Darren, who encourages his musical side, and with whom he performs a duet version of the Inner Light theme. Earlier in the season, a scene shows Picard practicing Mozart on the flute in the beginning of A Fistful of Datas. His final appearance was in a deleted scene from Star Trek Nemesis. Lieutenant Commander Data picks it up and examines it while discussing human life with Picard. The original placement of this scene was to have been immediately following the wedding ceremony shown in the opening scenes. The simple theme that Picard plays on the flute was later developed into a full orchestral suite for the 30th anniversary of Star Trek. Nice. From October 5th to the 7th, 2006, the Forsaken Flute was one of the items up for bid at the Christie's official studio auction of Star Trek memorabilia. The prop flute, which cannot actually be played, was originally estimated to have a sale price of $300. Auction directors admitted that their estimates for many items did not, quote, factor in that emotional fury generated around this kind of material. The estimate was later raised from $800 to $1,200 on Christie's website. In the days leading up to the auction, Denise Okuda, former Trek scenic artist and video supervisor, as well as co-writer of the auction catalog, said, quote, "That's the item people say they really have to have because it's so iconic to a much beloved episode." The final bid for the flute at the auction was $40,000. In addition, including the additional 20% fee Christie's collected on all items for the winning bidder, the total price for the flute was $48,000. Sheesh, that's a lot of money for one flute. Holy crap! So, overall, this is a really darn good episode, and it's definitely one of the best episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. So, overall, I give The Inner Light 5 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me soon for yet another 2-parter with Time's Arrow. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.